Welcome back to Golf Today. We continue our roundtable chat with Shane, Ryan, and Taylor Zarzour. Shane, it's January, which means we got to do a Rory McIlroy state of Rory. He finishes tied for fourth in Dubai. He says his schedule will be a little smaller than it was a year ago. Your thoughts on kind of what he's facing big picture in 2025 is major number 5 around the corner at long last.
Well, yeah, I mean, after what we just saw, Damon, I am ready to have my heart broken again, as I am every single year. No, you know, Rory continues to be on great form. It always seems like he's doing things to try to make life easier for himself. A couple of years ago, he was going to talk to the media less after kind of, you know, going through and being the spokesman for the PGA Tour. He felt like that had a psychological effect on him. Now he's going to kind of maybe play fewer events. He's trying to do anything he can, probably not just in golf, probably in life, to make things a little bit more tolerable and a little bit better and put less pressure on himself. But again, right, the way we talk about Rory is always about the majors. And that seemed like it had hit a fever pitch 2 years ago. And then we saw what happened at Pinehurst, and now it's even crazier. So, you know, he's found a million different ways to lose. And 2025 comes down to, is he going to find a way to win? That's going to be the discourse. It is inevitable. I'm sure he knows that he's a smart guy. And the answer is, in terms of you're asking me if he's going to do it, I have no idea, but I am ready to have my heart broken again.
Well, Shane, I'll go ahead and take that and deliver it to Taylor, because I'm going to go ahead and drink the Kool-Aid and think the drought ends this year because of his success at Quail Hollow. I mean, the fact that he has 4 wins there and several top 10s, I just feel like if there's a place where it's packaged, it's the PGA, that major for Rory this year. Taylor, am I nuts for trying to drink the Kool-Aid and think the drought ends this year?
No, he's going to be the favorite at that event. Everybody talks about Scottie Scheffler being such a favorite in every tournament he enters. If there's one tournament on earth this year where Scottie Scheffler will not be the favorite, it is right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, 10 minutes from where I'm sitting right now at Quail Hollow Club. By the way, they've lengthened the 9th hole of par 4. It's a very long par 4. It was used as the 18th hole in the President's Cup a couple of years ago. And I showed it to Rory a few months ago, and he said, "What are you guys trying to do to me?" And I said, "Rory, we're lengthening the hole," which means you are the only person that is going to have a chance to hit the middle of the fairway there and get on the green in 2. He has taken full advantage of all of Johnny Harris's lengthening of that golf course in recent years. And I am totally with you. I think that he'll be the favorite in that event. I'm just not for him leaving the parking lot, leaving Damon Hack in a lurch at Pinehurst like he did last year. I so respect the fact, though, that Rory is going to die trying everything he can think of. This year, he's going to play less PGA Tour events going into the event than he did last year. He is going to try everything he can think of to end this major championship drought. And I wouldn't be surprised if, listen, I know he's had so many chances. I think this is going to be his best chance to win the Masters this year. It's a feeling that's 3 months away, but I think that he's going to be a significant factor.
I so wanted to interview Rory at the end of that Sunday at Pinehurst #2 on NBC. Maybe I'll get a chance to do it at Oakmont later on this year. No doubt Rory is thinking about the majors, Shane. He's also thinking about the Ryder Cup. You can imagine that. Seeing Tyrrell Hatton in the Middle East and hearing Rory talk about the value of Tyrrell, basically saying, you know, you want him on that wall, you need him on that wall. You know, how formidable has Tyrrell Hatton come, even as a member of LIV? He looks match tough and ready to be a part of that European Ryder Cup team once again.
Yeah, I think the minute Rahm went to LIV and Rory kind of said, look, we got to have this guy in the team. There's just no, you know, that was kind of like the breaking point where it opened it up. So all of these guys now are eligible. And so I think that benefited Hatton for sure. He might have been one of the marginal guys, but once Rahm kind of broke the levee a little bit, yeah, and he is. I mean, I saw him even at Whistling Straits and the Europeans were absolutely routed. You know, he made a huge putt. He had a lot of fire and a lot of kind of, you know, passion for Europe. And as Rory said, I think the quote was, you know, he doesn't give a fig, which is a funny way to put it, but very true. He has no figs to give, and he's the guy you want on your side in the Ryder Cup. People like that are invaluable, especially when you're going to be dealing with a bunch of Long Islanders screaming and yelling at you and swearing at you and maybe throwing beer at you. You need the toughest guys you can, because that is going to be an impossible Ryder Cup for them to win. And if they do have a faint prayer of it, they need 12 really, really tough and seasoned guys. So, you know, you saw Rory's quote. The fact that he's on LIV, it doesn't matter. If he has a good year this year, I would think they're gonna do anything they can to get him on that team.
Yeah, Shane, I absolutely agree. Taylor, I'll take it to you. I mean, don't you feel like Luke Donald has those 3 captains picks, and with the way Tyrrell's playing and with his personality, what's going to be needed in enemy territory there in New York at Bethpage, it almost seems like a lock you're going to see Hatton on that Ryder Cup team, wouldn't you imagine?
Oh, absolutely. He's ranked 8th in the world right now, which is remarkable given what you guys were just saying about the fact that you can't get world ranking points playing on LIV. And this guy all of a sudden is playing his best golf playing in DP World Tour events. Imagine this, guys. The best players in the world playing in the same place, no matter where they play, LIV or the DP World Tour. That's what we had in Dubai this past weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if Hatton is the heel, like you're describing him, that turns into the hero. If this goes Europe's way, I could see a bunch of New Yorkers jumping on the Tyrrell Hatton bandwagon. He is a fan favorite everywhere he goes. His language, as you guys just described, is rather colorful, which I'm sure the New Yorkers will like as well. I absolutely expect Hatton to be in New York.
I will say New York is desperate for a winner right now. Maybe they'd go that far as to root for Europe in that one. Shane, Taylor, we appreciate it, guys. Always enjoy catching up with you. And Shane, it is safe to say Happy New Year. We are still in January, so you're all good there, my friend.
Beautiful.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.